Thanks for joining us on the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm Nisha Charles. In the headlines, government to improve the usability of playing fields across the island. Government's housing revolution continues to benefit Kalinago constituents, and an agro-processing facility for bells. Details of our headline stories and more after this.
Did you know the Caribbean Court of Justice is two courts in one? The CCJ has two functions: an original jurisdiction, which deals with your right to move between CARICOM countries freely and your right to move your money and your business. This is the basis of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, and the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, and an appellate jurisdiction to hear appeals from courts of those countries which decide to use it as their final court of appeal and no longer go to the Privy Council. All CARICOM member states who have signed the agreement establishing the CCJ are members of the CCJ.
Thanks for staying with us. The Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Constituency Empowerment is improving the usability of playing fields across Dominica. The goal is to allow everyone in the community to have better access to the facility to improve the health of the people as well as provide recreation. To do that, government is seeking to provide adequate lighting to the playing fields and has brought a team from the region to assess Dominica's fields. GIS News visited some of the playing fields with the team on Thursday. The Labour Party administration is paying close attention to sports and the improvement of sporting facilities across the island. Government's current undertaking is to improve the functionality of playing fields by adding proper lighting. The government strongly believes that the added feature will allow more Dominicans to engage in physical activity outside working hours, as well as allow young athletes to have more time to sharpen their skills.
Recently, we did a very comprehensive review of all our playing fields around the island, and we have a pretty good idea of all the different measures which need to be implemented on the individual playing fields to improve them as playing facilities. The idea is to assess the playing fields which do not have any lights, to install energy-saving lights, and for those which already have lights like this playing field, to improve the lighting, because some of the playing fields, the lighting is very poor. So you want to enhance the lighting on those facilities. Government has sought advice from the region and has brought in a solar energy company from Barbados, Solaris Global Energy, for 3 days ending Friday.
From speaking to the representatives from the government, they're looking to have areas that are well lit, so that after school activities, clubs that play football, rounders, cricket will have adequate lighting, and also the key thing is also to have it as energy efficient as possible. So the idea is to retrofit the existing lights at certain areas with solar lights so that you will cut back on your electricity consumption. There are certain grounds that we have visited thus far that don't have any lights at all. At those we will do completely solar lights. Sports coordinator Trevor Shillingford says this will allow the sports division to create sporting programs that will benefit the entire population.
Development of playing facilities is a key factor in the whole programming of the Ministry of Sports. Seeing the sporting facilities, that is where the various programs will be implemented. So having sporting facilities that are accessible, sporting facilities that are in good condition will aid in the whole development process in terms of sports development.
He says this is an avenue to target communities on a whole.
4 years ago, we implemented a community sports program, and where we try to get our communities more engaged in sporting activities. And one of the things that we are seeing is that a lot of the people are becoming more busy. People are involved in a lot of other activities, and physical activities, sporting activities seem to have been taking a backseat. So having the lights on the sporting facilities will assist us in engaging the communities after working hours, when people are in a more relaxed mood and people have a lot more time they can now devote that time to participating in physical activities.
On Thursday, the team visited several playing fields, and the Geneva playing field in Granby was one of them. The Honorable Minister for Sports, Justina Charles, says it is not just the lighting aspect that needs to be addressed.
There are some areas where we would want to look at construction of a few little pavilions, small, but reasonably enough that if you have teams coming up to play, that they can be comfortable, they can do their changing, washrooms, and and some of the areas we would like to see some additional facilities added.
After the visit, Solaris will make their recommendation to government, and the process of sourcing funding for the project will begin. In more news, the government of Dominica continues to improve the living conditions of the residents of the Kalinago territory. On Wednesday, a delegation led by the Honorable Acting Prime Minister Reginald Austri visited a housing project in Siniku along with officials from the government of the People's Republic of China. There, the final house on the government's 2014 Housing Revolution program in the Kalinago territory has been completed. This means another family in the constituency will receive keys to their new home. For the Honorable Parliamentary Representative of that constituency, Cassius Daru, this is a great gift to his constituents.
It is indeed a great initiative, and it continues to be from the government of Dominica. Because one of our major problems within the Kalinago territory, Atkinson and Antwistle, is housing. And so as we continue with the revolution of housing, we are hoping to improve the standard of living and the occupants of the structures within the territory.
Government's housing revolution has invested millions of dollars in safe and affordable housing for Dominicans, touching the lives of hundreds of nationals, particularly in the Kalinago territory. Last September, 27 houses were given to Dominica's indigenous people, a $1.4 million gift from the People's Republic of China and the Labour Party government. This last structure built in Siniku is house number 28, built close to the original dwelling place of its beneficiaries. The structure has cost government almost $100,000. Honorable Daru says the indigenous people are thankful and responding well to gestures such as these.
Within the Kalinago territory, in terms of housing, we the Kalinago people, we really appreciate this effort, because it took the Dominican Labour Party to come on board and look at the indigenous peoples and say it is time that we give them a fair share of what the government has to offer to the people. So I think the Kalinago people, they have accepted it wholeheartedly, and they are very thankful to the government and the Dominican Labour Party.
Craft maker, husband and father Matthew Frederick is thankful for the much anticipated assistance from government. He is especially thankful to the Honorable Parliamentary Representative's predecessor who initiated the process.
We were living in a small house, and then after I got sick, so I could not work to build my own house. When Mr. Ashton came, we still had that issue. So he talked with the Prime Minister, then he brought it up again, and then it really came up at last. Well, I'm feeling very happy, yeah, and I'm grateful for it. And I want to thank the government and its members, and especially Mr. Ashton Grando, for this coming through.
His wife, Pam Frederick, recalled their previous situation and had her own special thanks to the government of Dominica.
We did not have toilet and bathroom. To tell you the truth, I am thankful, thanks God for that, for this gift. I always say at church that that is a blessing from God. I thank God, and I thank God for the Prime Minister of Dominica and the Chinese, government of the Chinese also, to bless us with this house. And I feel proud because, I have 3 children and we live in a little small house. But we live in a small house, but we live comfortable with God. But now God has blessed us. I don't want to be ungrateful to God.
This is just one example of government responding to the housing needs of the territory. The Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt-led administration has made clear its mandate to facilitate proper living conditions for all Dominicans. Under the Housing Revolution program, scores of underprivileged citizens have a chance to own a proper home. Dominica's government and the People's Republic of China established diplomatic relations in March of 2004. You're watching National Focus. Still to come, an agro-processing facility for Bells, and the Child Abuse Prevention Unit appeals for more foster parents. Stay with us. Welcome back. Farmers in the community of Bells will soon be able to utilize an agro-processing facility there. The facility, which will be used for processing dasheen, was funded by the Global Environment Fund GEF Small Grants Program to the tune of $50,000. Chairman of the Bells Farmers Group, Jeremy Maxime, says since Bells is a highly productive area of dasheen, it is only appropriate that the facility be used to process the root crop.
Presently, we are in a stage where we feel we should be going into value added, because it's for quite a few years we've been shipping dasheen to the French Islands and to the United Kingdom, America as well. We just feel that it is a time where we should process dasheen and add value to our product.
The project is entitled the Bells Integrated Natural Resource Management for Sustainable Development, strengthening stakeholders' engagement and empowering local people to be custodians of natural resources with selected initiatives for livelihood opportunities. Government provided the lands for the facility to be built.
Currently, where this project is situated, the GEF Small Grants Agro-Processing Facility for Bells, this is on government lands, which as a member of Parliament I had to ensure that they made the lands available to them for the start of this project. I believe this is a very significant project for the community of Bells. Again, Bells being highly productive in dasheen, and we have several of the farmers who have dasheen fields in this area. And once this project is completed and it is fully utilized, we will see different packages and different methods of how dasheen can be prepared and stored and that sort of thing. And I must commend the farmers group for taking this initiative, and I must also commend Jeff as well for recognizing the importance of working with farmers in rural communities.
The farmers group is awaiting the equipment to process the root crop. When the facility opens, the farmers group is looking to vacuum pack chunks of dasheen, as well as package dasheen chips and dasheen fries. It is hoped that the facility will be opened before year-end. The Child Abuse Prevention Unit is encouraging nationals to become foster parents. In an interview this morning with coordinator of the Child Abuse Prevention Unit, Gemma Azil Luce, she says the need for foster parents is an urgent one.
Presently, we have children who are in need of care and protection. These children have been removed from their biological homes and cannot be returned to that home. And because of that, we are asking of the public to come on board and become foster parents, give a child a home, an opportunity that they never had before. And these children, some of them are in institutions, and because of that, of course, institutionalization of a child is always the last resort. And because of that, we need a home for these children. And that's why we are asking persons right now to come on board to foster a child.
The process of fostering is as simple as filling out an application form or calling the unit. Azil Lewis believes that the rewards of fostering a child far outweighs the difficulties involved.
Of course, I can always understand why someone would be hesitant on accepting a child. It's a new responsibility. It's possible, these children may come with their own challenges. But the bright side of it is that you are giving a child an opportunity that they never had before. You are giving a child the love and the care that they have never received. So look at it as a blessing that I am helping a child and I'm giving them something that they never had before. They have never had the opportunity to attend school on a regular basis. And yes, I can give the child that opportunity. Maybe they have been abused sexually or physically by a family member or by whoever it is. And you're removing a child from an environment that is going to make them safer. So think of it that way. Maybe you may be sitting and may not even see the reward here, but there's always a blessing somewhere because you are giving a child an opportunity.
And tell us, what is the procedure for going about adopting a child?
The foster care program is under the care of the government of Dominica, who provides a substantial amount of assistance to both foster parents and children.
So certain things are met with the child in terms of education wise, medical. We meet certain things in terms of assisting that child. So the parents do support, but the government is also there with you to ensure that this child grows up to be a healthy and loving individual.
The coordinator of the unit had this final appeal to the public.
Well, I want to give an appeal to our Dominican public. Foster care is not something difficult. It is something that we should embrace. Think of it as we say in Dominica that we are a Christian community. Let's use that Christian principle and put it into action by giving a child a home.
And now for a recap of the week's headline stories with Kerdisha Saint-Uli.
Welcome to this week's edition of Flashback. In the headlines this week, 100 nationals graduated from the Dominica State College last Friday in its second spring commencement ceremony. On Monday, a contract was signed for the construction of 150 meters of concrete box drains on the southern side of the Soufriere playing field between the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Constituency Empowerment and a local contractor, Ignace Detouche. Monday, March 23rd was recognized as World Meteorological Day all over the globe. The day commemorates the establishment of the World Meteorological Organization, WMO, established in 1950. Dominica joined the rest of the world on Tuesday to observe World Tuberculosis Day under the theme Reach the 3 Million. The government of Dominica and the parliamentary representative for the St. Joseph constituency, Honorable Kelva Daru, has made it their priority to rehabilitate the farm access roads in the Bells wet area. $200,000 is being spent on a project to give over 70 farmers in the community of Bells better access to their farms. The Invest Dominica Authority, in looking to increase its capacity to attract foreign direct investment to Dominica, has implemented a technical assistant project which will better equip IDA staff for marketing business opportunities in Dominica, conducted by Communicare International. On Wednesday, the National Youth Council of Dominica officially launched its new office, located at Kennedy Avenue upstairs the former Jays Limited, thanks to funding by the government of Dominica. Also on Wednesday, the Youth Development Division, the pioneer of youth empowerment, formally graduated 45 young people who are ready and certified to work for the good of their communities and their country. On Thursday, officials from the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Constituency Empowerment and a lighting company from Barbados visited the fields around the island to determine the most appropriate type of lighting for the fields in an effort to upgrade playing fields across the island and to allow the entire family to have better access to the facilities at night. And finally, the Dominica Labour Party Administration's Housing Revolution program has reached the San Sauvé constituency. 10 families will soon call home these 10 houses currently under the final phase of construction. This project, which commenced in October 2013, is costing government over $2 million, with 1.3 donated as grant from the People's Republic of China. And those were the headline stories which made the news this week. For details of each of these stories and others, visit our website or our Facebook page. Let's get back to Nisha.
Thanks, Kerdisha. Coming up next, improving your reading skills.
Wash your hands. I am Adora Tuse, health educator from the Ministry of Health. Proper hand washing protects against the spread of many common illnesses and germs. Wash your hands often with soap and water, or you may use a hand sanitizer. Remember, clean hands save lives. Protect yourself.
A message from the Health Promotion of the Ministry of Health.
Many people have trouble with reading. If you develop good reading skills, it can be very helpful in the future. Read carefully. Don't rush. Take your time. Don't skim through the pages, but rather go through the details to comprehend the text. Read as much as you are able. If you get bored, take a break. Reading should be enjoyable, so don't force it. And it's okay to reread something if you didn't understand it the first time. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website, news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Nisha Charles. Thanks for watching and do have a great weekend.